terms of whatever I have learned the hard way, I should share with everyone that these are the things which really, really matters. These are the things which have helped me in terms of finding out the right way, the right approach, and the right method to find the right job. You know what? I will also be sharing my journey. My 14 years of journey with you guys. I started with a very small company, fire safety solutions company called as Ceasefire Industries. I actually used to sell cylinders door to door in corporates, around corporates. I should not say corporates, in manufacturing companies and smaller startups in Okla and Mohun cooperative area. That was the journey of my career. We started with the hardcore sales, where I started with somewhere around 1.5 lakh rupees per year back in 2008. And post that, I joined a company called as Times of India, the Times Jobs division, and I worked there as a sales assistant sales manager. And then I worked with Shadi.com, and post Shadi, I joined Yahoo. Yahoo was a great transformational kind of a platform for me where I learned a lot. And back during those days, Yahoo used to be leader along with Google in terms of digital penetration. Post that, I joined LinkedIn. LinkedIn, another great company to work for, great culture. And I've learned a lot of global knowledge as well. I've learned how things work in different part of the world apart from just India, and why culture plays such an important role when you work with any specific company. Then I joined a company called as NDTV, where I was heading the North region for NDTV for entire digital monetization and ad sales. And after that, I joined Z5 as a regional head for North. And currently, I am the vice president for Z5 for sales. Now, the reason behind sharing this journey was just to share with you that I'm not from a Harvard or ISB or IIMs, but today I'm fortunate that people from IIMs are part of my team. The idea is not to boast. The idea is that even if you're not from the top colleges, but you follow the right approach, you follow the right strategy, you can definitely climb the corporate ladder in a much more smarter manner. So that is what happened with me, and I will be sharing all this experience with you as well. So today, I want to share that I have done a lot of things which were right in my journey, and there were certain things which were not right. I've done certain things which are wrong as well. But this opportunity of this course is how you can learn at easier way, because I have learned it the hard way. I have learned, I have summarized, I have crystallized everything in terms of whatever has been my learning, both from a job seeker point of view and as an employer point of view as well. So I now also understand, after becoming a people manager, after coming to the leadership role, that what are those things which an employer look for when it comes to finding the right candidate, when it comes to hunting the right person. So I'll be sharing both the side of the table, all the views. Today I'm into multiple things. I'm a career and life coach. I also run courses around art of sales and art of getting a dream job. I have started a startup as well called as India Ethnic Wear. I'm, like I mentioned, I'm a vice president for sales for Z5, and have around 14 years plus of advertising and leadership experience. And like I mentioned, I work with companies like LinkedIn, NDTV, and Times and before. I'm also a guest lecturer in top universities and a public speaker. So these are the things which I currently do, which I love to do. And I will be sharing my journey, whatever I have learned doing all those things. So in today's webinar, we will be talking more about the top 3 secrets about job hunting. And these secrets will be, the first one is around why your resume doesn't get shortlisted. What is the reason that after making your resume, putting so much of effort as well, you don't get the resume shortlisted for you? Why your resume doesn't stand out? The second one is why you don't see your dream jobs on job portals. Why? What is the reason that whatever dreams you have, whatever dream job you have, you never find those dream jobs on job portals? You're unable to locate those job positions, and you must be wondering how these top companies, whatever top companies you have in mind, wherever you want to work, wherever you want to associate with, where do they post their jobs? Why I'm not able to get them? And the last one is uh, what you can do to become an expert in selling yourself in a job interview. What is that core tip which is very, very important if you want to sell yourself in a job interview? So we'll start with one by one. The first one is why your resume doesn't get shortlisted. That is the most important thing. And when it comes to job portals, whether it is Naukri or Monster or Times Job, we all apply for jobs. We also look for different companies to select our resume. But sometimes, most of the times, I should say, we don't get it. We don't get our resume shortlisted, and one of the reason is we will try to find out in the next few slides. But before that, just think about it. Have you ever gone to 10th page of a Google search, or 7th page, or 5th page, or even 2nd page? I don't think so ever. Most of the times we get our results in just first page of the Google search. We don't even go to the 2nd page, forget about 5th or 7th or 10th page. Similarly, when you're looking for a job, you normally apply for a job which is the latest one. A job which was posted 2 days back will always get a priority over a job which was posted 2 months back, because you will have an assumption that a job which is posted just 2 days back will be vacant. It is not filled yet and it is much more recent, and I should apply for such a job. If these two are the reasons, then why we expect the recruiter or the hiring manager to find you on 10th, 20th, or 30th page? You know, is there a way you need to find out to guarantee that your resume always appears on the first page itself? And the answer is yes, there is. What normally happens is when we apply for jobs, when we upload our resume and we just forget, our resume actually comes on 10th, 20th, 30th, 50th, or even 70th page. Now, what is that thing which you guys can do so that your resume always comes on the first page, so that whenever a recruiter is searching for, just like we search jobs, recruiters search candidates. They put a skill, they put work experience, they put the location, and they click the search button. Whoever has recently updated the resume, his profile comes on the first page, and most of the time recruiters or the hiring managers just pick up the relevant resumes from that first page. So another question comes, what you should do so that your resume always comes on the first page? And the answer is that you should not update your resume after 3 months time. You should not even update after a month's time, or even every week. You should update your resume every day. Every day your resume should get updated. Now the question comes is what I should update in my resume every day. I don't have anything to add every day. Every day I can't be adding anything, any skills. We don't get new skills or new talent every day. So the answer to that is you don't have to make any changes in the resume. Just the same resume every day in the job portal, whether it is Naukri, whether it is Monster, or any else. Simply kind of upload your resume. Just one sec. Simply upload the same resume every day. So that is the best method. And when you do that, your resume will always come on the first page, because it will always show as a recently updated resume. If in the morning 10 o'clock you are uploading the same resume, the system will show it as a refreshed version, which means today's updated resume. And when a recruiter or a hiring manager will look for similar skills, your resume always populate at the first page, which means a very recently updated resume. And that ways your chances of getting the right job, your chances of getting your resume shortlisted will go up really, really high. Try to do this and you will see a jump in terms of the number of calls you get, in terms of the number of responses you get. The next one is why you don't see your dream jobs on job portals. And that's an interesting question. Why, most of the top companies or the top jobs which you're looking for, we don't see on job portals. The answer is the top companies don't post all the jobs on job portals. They hire through employer referrals, they hire through executive search consultants, and they hire through the network of your potential boss. So the question comes is how then we should be able to get these kind of jobs, which doesn't even get posted on a job portal. I want to work with Netflix, Google, Facebook, these kind of companies, for example, but I never see a relevant job, on job portal. That, what does that mean? Will I ever be able to work in such companies? Because whenever I look for such jobs, I don't find it in job portals. Like I mentioned, in such a scenario where a lot of jobs are being filled basis the referral, basis the network, you should do something called as boss hunting and not job hunting. And when I say boss hunting, what you need to do is you need to make a list of around 20 companies where you want to work with, and find out which are those bosses whom you will probably report to, or the HR heads, right? And then make a list of those people on LinkedIn, send them a nice, polite LinkedIn request, and then make two templates. Somebody takes 1 second. And make two templates. One template is talking about just those job positions which are already there from that company. So for example, I want to work with Google, and I know that I will be reporting to the CRO of the company. I will reach out to the CRO in a very polite manner and write to him that I am so and so, and there is a job position where I'm look forward to connect with you regarding the same, if you can consider me for the same. Now, this also has a strategy, because such senior folks, they get thousands of messages every day. If you're just spamming their inbox, they will not get any response. So this has to be done in a very much methodological manner. What I have done is I have created two templates. One is when you know there is a job position in your company which you have selected and you want to reach out to your potential boss. Second is when you don't know if there is a position or not, you still want to get connected to the person, and in a very polite manner, and how you can connect with him, build rapport, also talk about something about his achievements, and generate your own professional brand. So these are the reasons, these are the ways how you can reach out to your potential job which are not there on the job portal. To be very honest, these things, this approach has worked for me. In my last, I think, 3 jobs, I have not applied for any job portal. This is I have got only by making networking, that too with unknown people I was not knowing them earlier. Now the third secret is around what you can do to become an expert in selling yourself in a job interview. What are those things which makes you an expert? Remember one thing, guys. If you're invited for the interview, 95% of the times you are already qualified on paper. 95% of the times you are already qualified, and that is why you have been invited for the interview. The question comes is, to understand why ultimately you will get a job. What is that thing which will make you get a job ultimately? Because if you're already qualified, then the other people who have been invited for the interview, they are also equally qualified. And what is that unique thing which you should do so that you get selected over others? And remember, before we come to that answer, we need to remember three things. That there are three reasons because of which you actually get the job. And unfortunately, you can only control one of them. Now, let's see which are those three reasons. The first one is your ability to effectively articulate your fit and value, which we call it as encoding, which means when you sit in front of the interviewer, your ability to convince the interviewer that you are the right person, talking about your qualification, talking about your experience, and so on. So, your ability to effectively articulate your fit and value is very, very important. That is called as encoding. The second is the interviewer's ability to actually interpret your qualifications, your experience, your learnings. How much he is skilled to understand, or I should not say skilled, how much attentive he is in terms of understanding, what kind of experience and qualifications you have. How much qualified he is to even understand that. Does he have those, interview skills, interview taking skills in terms of understanding what your abilities are and how to interpret them. And the last one, which is very important, is the interviewer's capacity to remember, his memory. Remember, whomsoever you are giving interview, he would be at a senior position. He would be doing multiple things. He must have taken 4 to 5 interviews in that day. He might be busy in lot many work. Now, how the hell he will remember what were your core competencies after the interview is over? There are a lot many times where you will give an interview, he will make 1 or 2 notes on the resume or the diary, and that's it. He will simply forget you, after the interview. And there is a gap between when a hiring manager takes your interview and gives his feedback to the HR. And during that gap, and I'm telling you from a personal experience, I also sometimes forget what is the core ability of that candidate, because I might have interviewed 9 to 10 candidates. I don't remember that. Now you need to do certain things to create a very unique impact so that I remember you, or the hiring manager remembers you. Now, one of those things I'm going to share in the next slide. So in any interview, there are basically two types of questions. One is about your past and one is about your future. That's it. Any question which is asked in an interview can be classified into these two types. Sharing your history, what did you do, and speculating the future, what would you do. These are the only two types of question you get in the interview. What different you have to do is you have to answer both the questions even if only one question has been asked. Yes, my friends, you need to answer both the questions, even if just one question is asked. That is the way you will be able to create a unique impact. So even if the question is asked for your past, for example, what did you do? How you proved the leadership skills in your organization. So then you tell about a case that's how I did it in my past. And then ask the interviewer if you have a current situation or anticipate one you might have, so that I will tell you how I will do in your company, how I will do it in future in a different environment altogether, so that you can tell the interviewer that you have the ability to do certain kind of a complex situation in different environment as well, in a different manner altogether, depending upon whatever situation or scenario is given by the interviewer. Similarly, if there's a question which is asked, what would you do if you become, for example, a project manager of this project? Then you tell about it, what you think you will be doing it in future, in terms of how you will handle in future if you get a chance to become project manager. And without even asking, also share about how you have done certain kind of thing which is similar to what the interviewer has asked in the past. You should also tell in the same narration that this is how I will do in future, and just to share with you, I have done similar thing in the past as well, and this is the example of that. If you start doing this, if you start answering both the question, even if one question is asked, it will eliminate 90% of the communication issues. One more thing I want to give you as a pro tip, so that people will remember you. Remember, after every interview, you must within 24 hours time share a thank you note to the person to whom you have given the interview. It will leave a very long lasting impression. Not many people do it. I do it after every interview, either on LinkedIn or on mail. Remember guys, either these two, not on WhatsApp, not on message, either on LinkedIn or on mail. Try to find out his email ID, whomsoever you have given the interview. If you are unable to find the email ID, search him on LinkedIn and just write a nice thank you note. That was pleasure talking to you. I have learned a lot during the interaction, and I really still fit that I'm the best fit for the role. Look forward to see you. So if you put that kind of note, remember the one which I shared with you, the problem, the interviewer's capacity to remember, this memory problem will be solved, because within 24 hours, you are actually kind of creating another impact of yours by sending a thank you note. So remember to do that. Now, friends, what I would say is insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm sure you guys are attending this webinar because you must have done certain things your way in terms of your job search, in terms of your job hunting, but still those things are not working. So now is the time to change your approach. Now is the time to do things differently so that you get better and different results. A little bit around, the entire course. I tell you, my friends, the entire journey of starting from a resume writing to job hunting to interview cracking cannot be completed in just one webinar. So I have tried to concise it as much as possible, and I have come up with this 8 weeks course around getting your dream jobs. And I tell you what all I will be including in this 8 weeks time. The first week, we will be talking about finding and identifying your unique niche so that you know your next play. A lot many of you are still confused whether you are in the right job or not. A lot many of you, are still not sure whether you are doing the right thing or not. A lot many of you don't know what are your key strengths, what are your key, virtues. And I have a methodological approach in terms of finding out what is your unique niche. I have an Excel sheet which is very detailed, which helps you in terms of analyzing what is your niche, what you really want to do. And remember, my friends, something you are good at and something you love to do might be very different. I might be good at sales, but do I love doing sales? It might differ. So the first week we'll talk about that. The second week is all about building your impactful resume, which gets shortlisted. I will be sharing the tricks and tips of, what all should be included in the resume and what not. The third week, we'll talk about how you make sure that your resume gets shortlisted, so that you get relevant interview calls. We'll talk about all those things which you should keep in mind. There are a lot of hacks as well, which I will be sharing with you in terms of how you make sure that your resume gets shortlisted and you get interview calls. Week 4, we'll talk about the art to hunt the right job so that you apply only for your desired jobs. You guys must have noticed you apply for a very different kind of jobs on Naukri and Monster, and the kind of job alerts you get are very very different, maybe of insurance advisor or something, and you get wondered why I'm getting a very different alert altogether, why I don't get the relevant ones. So I will talk about how you can find the relevant jobs, get relevant opportunities both on LinkedIn as well as on job portals. Week 5, we'll talk all about boss hunting. What are those kind of templates which you should send? Why people or senior leaders should give importance to you? How you should do warm introductions through others? All those things. Because, senior leadership get thousands of messages every day. Week 6 will talk about the art of cracking an interview. What all you should speak in an interview and what you should not. Week 7 is about leaving a long lasting impact on the interview. This is again on the same line. What all you can do so that your impact is long lasting, so that you don't face that memory problem, so that the hiring manager remembers you. Week 8 will talk about mastering the negotiation and convincing skills. When you're negotiating your package or roles and responsibility or your title, what all you should do to make sure that you are the winner. And week 8 and 9 we'll talk about how you can prove that you are an asset to the company, how we can prove that on the first day itself what all you should be prepared for, so that you can create an impact in the first day itself to prove that you are an asset to the organization. So the idea is, while you are stuck here of status of not getting relevant job offers and unable to crack interview, we will go step by step in terms of finding your niche, building your resume, getting your resume shortlisted, doing a boss hunting, cracking interviews, and finally getting a job which you are looking for. So this is how my 8-9 weeks phased wise course will go. What you get, if you talk about in terms of the components, my art of getting a dream jobs 9 modules, 45 lessons, 15 hours of content, 50 plus video tutorials, online support, a weekly Q&A call, and all those templates and sample resume which I was talking about, whether it is around job hunting or it is around resume and so on. So in a nutshell, this entire components costs around 15,000 rupees. But you also get a membership to the resume writing workshop, which I will be conducting in few weeks time. That is, an additional value which you get, which has a value of around 10,000 rupees. And another thing I want to share with you, the entire course will have a lifetime access to the recorded version. So you will not have any expiry date of the course. It will be a lifetime access for you for the entire course duration. And then you'll also be a part of private LinkedIn and Facebook group, where you can ask me anything around your career, whatever challenges, whatever problems you are facing. And even if you want me to refer you at certain places where I am aware there is a position, I'm more than happy to do that, which another have a value of 5,000. And then a very important thing which very few people do, and remember, as I've worked in LinkedIn, I know how we can become masters on LinkedIn as well. I will also be doing a how to rock your LinkedIn profile workshop only for you guys, so you also get a how to rock your LinkedIn profile session along with this particular course, which has a value of around 10,000 rupees. And the bonus is, I will also be doing a personalized resume review for you, which means I will do a personal review of each one of you in terms of how your resume is and what are the corrections which are important in your resume, which has an additional value of around 10,000 rupees. So all these things have a value of around 60,000, but people who are part of this webinar, they get this entire package in just 5,000 rupees. So if you register by Tuesday on this course, the charge which I'll be charging is around 5,000 rupees. So my thought is, you have two options. One is you go with the way you are going in terms of whatever permutation combination you are trying for job hunting. The second one is you invest a little bit on yourself and have a faith in terms of my abilities to help you find your right job. And in case you still are not satisfied, I have this 4 weeks money guarantee that I will give you 100% money back in 4 weeks time. if you don't find value in my course. So that's what all about this course is, and that's what all about this webinar. Now